What we offer to the world, Europe does not have it. What Africa gives to the world, Europe don't have it, America don't have it, Asia don't have it. Because we are not mining in China, we are not doing any mining in America or mining in Europe. But they're doing it in every part of Africa. Not just Sierra Leone, go to Democratic Republic of Congo, go to Botswana, go to Angola, go everywhere there is mineral resources. It is the West and the Chinese who are there. We have the best diamonds in the world. You know, so I don't know, what do we have in America? I'm just checking, you know, so I told you I came here to learn also. Yeah. Come on, you know, you can't just be asking me. You give me some information to take home.
Of course, I'll be happy to tell you things. You know.
This is the journey to One Africa.
I wonder, do you see any parallels at the international level? It's like, is there a way that we could reform the UN for greater accountability in the same ways?
The United Nations is the United Nation. I don't know how united it is. So
I think that's a good answer. Yeah. Yeah.
In the United Nations, it's the powerful and most powerful who survive. That's my take. For a country like Sierra Leone, well, you know, this is where, you know, naturally I will not say anything. I will just let it go.
You're
because,
fine. You're fine.
You
You're
know,
fine.
I don't want to say something that they will keep forever and say, but you said this about the United Nations. But I think the United Nations needs a huge reform. Yeah. And when the United Nations speak, should be speaking for the world. Yeah. But it's like the United Nations is an institution that I don't know who is actually the head of United Nations.
So I know this is in a difficult spot for you, and I'll just say it for myself as a citizen. Like, the United Nations and their specialized agencies, they all have governance structures that privilege some nations over others. I think we should be able to talk about that openly, and then we can talk about what to do about it. So in the United Nations in New York, there's the Security Council. Those are allies of the Second World War. Like, everybody should know this. Everyone should be able to say this. And everyone should be able to say that the time of that is over. We need to think about how to make governance more democratic. How do you get toward one person, one vote? How do you get toward the autonomy of individual countries? How do you get toward good participation, strong accountability, and then responsibilities for people? I think the way you started on working on reform for women and girls is a template that can be followed for many other issues. Do you think of what a next one might be?
I mean, one of the most serious issues I have with the United Nations is the fact that Africa is not part of the Security Council. We're talking about 54 countries, I'm sorry. 54 countries, a whole continent does not have one person representing Africa when it comes to decision making at the Security Council.
And I'd observe also that no African country has its own executive director at the World Bank either.
No, unfortunately, yes. We don't know how to manage money.
I think I'll have to disagree with you.
And what do you want me to say? Because if that is the perception since the beginning of, you know, every time an African come forward for something, that they have to be a decision maker for the world, not just Africa. It's just not possible.
I understand.
So what can I say? There must be a prescription somewhere that says, Africa, you are not good enough.
Well, it might be revolutionary, but I'm going to say it right here. Africans should be in charge of Africa.
I believe that also that Africans' issue can only be enhanced when Africans decide to do that. They should not allow another person to give them a prescription of how Africa should look like or what we need in our Africa, because we know what we need in our Africa. No one will know that better than us. And I think the UN should see Africa as partners. And the United Nations, definitely, you cannot have 7-country vetoing everything. When it comes to Africa issue, it is those 7 countries. Who are the countries that are actually exploiting Africa? They're the ones who have the veto power to make decision on anything that has to do with Africa. So for me, I think that is wrong. And that is one thing the president of Sierra Leone has campaigned for. And this year, Sierra Leone is now a non-permanent member at the United Nations. But yet still, we don't have a veto power. But we're there. At least we are getting closer. And in these 2 years, our mission is to get the United Nations to see Africa not as one country. Because that's the mistake they do. When you say I'm from Africa, they say, oh, you're from Nigeria. I said, no, Nigeria is one country in Africa. You know, we have 54 countries in Africa. So see us as a continent that also, what we offer to the world, Europe does not have it. What Africa gives to the world, Europe don't have it, America don't have it, Asia don't have it. Because we are not mining in China, we are not doing any mining in America or mining in Europe. But they're doing it in every part of Africa. Not just Sierra Leone, go to Democratic Republic of Congo, go to Botswana, go to Angola, go everywhere there is mineral resources. It is the West and the Chinese who are there.
I think we need to work toward a future where those industries migrate toward the sources of production. So like you could imagine a chocolate industry that's not in Switzerland or Belgium, but it's in Ghana.
Yes.
You could imagine, yes, the most famous jewelry stores in the world might be in Cote d'Ivoire. They might
Sierra
be
Leone. We have the best diamonds.
They might be in Sierra Leone.
But guess what? We have the best diamonds in the world, but they call our diamond blood diamond. But I've never seen a red diamond, because if it's blood diamond, it should be red. We have the best diamonds in the world. You know, so I don't know, what do we have in America? I'm just checking, you know, so I told you I came here to learn also. Yeah. Come on, you know, you can't just be asking me. You give me some information to take home.
Of course, I'll be happy to tell you things. You know, the U.S. makes, we have good beef here.
Beef?
Yeah.
Have you tested our cows?
We make computer chips. We've developed the internet. I mean, there's lots of innovation. I think normal exchange is normal. People learn from each other. They share products. There's a kind of very normal type of globalization where people have learned from each other. The extractive kind is what we need to move beyond. My aspirations, as I was mentioning to you, is that maybe we could imagine a world where the minerals that are extracted get refined, get processed into consumer products at the sources.
Well, first of all, for that to happen, you have to have energy. Now check how many countries actually have energy. And who gives energy?
I understand it's complex. You know, it's true, it's complex, it's very difficult. I just don't want to give up on it. At the end of the day, like, we're all people. There should be something that good people can do. There should be at least one thing that good people can do, no matter where they are, no matter what their position is. There should be at least one thing. And I'm trying to find out, what would it be? What would we recommend to today's people? What should they do? We've identified many problems, from the governance of the UN, the extraction of natural resources, the power of the patriarchy. Do you have any ideas? What should somebody do tomorrow? What would we recommend to the students at our school or the people on the streets?
I think people who, let me speak for Africa. When you come to Africa, ask me what is it that I want. If you ask me what food do you want to eat, I'll tell you I want to eat rice. But then if you come to Africa and bring me spaghetti and said, I want you to eat spaghetti, that you're imposing on me. With everything that we have in Africa, for all the people or all the organizations or all the companies that are coming to take from us, for once, see us as partners. For once, treat us with respect. And then help us develop. Because when we're developed, doesn't mean you will not do your mining. It just means you'll be changing lives and changing lives in a positive way. So by depriving us that development, by depriving us that opportunity for us to be able to be self-sufficient, for me, that is what is wrong. And that is why I am not able to stay silent.
I salute that. So today we have found solutions at several different levels. There's personal participation, so people are accountable, people are responsible for their own countries and their own actions, for their own governments. That includes people in rich countries. If you don't like what your country is doing, maybe get out there on the streets and do something different. If you see people who are being taken advantage of, advocate for them, change the law. If you're working on international projects, respect people in their countries as the source of all the knowledge, and maybe provide resources and advice as requested. I think that's good advice, and I appreciate you sharing it with us.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.